So, what do you think? Is it fixable? Can we fix this? Or do you want to just work on the X5? Alright, X5 it is. Well, there we go. King has made the decision. We're working on the X5 today while we wait for the radiator to turn up for that 325. Here I have the last spark plug that never actually got put into the X5. We did that service about 2 weeks ago now, so the internet knows we're not being too dodgy. I am going to do those plugs. I guess it's just a matter of getting the X5 in. I've got a bit of a service kit there, so I'm going to do the spark plug, that last spark plug. We've got an air filter, oil filter, and some oil. I've got some more oil somewhere else. But yeah, it's going to have a bit of a birthday, and that will mean it's going to be ready to do its 0 to 60 episode and see if it's any quicker than it was when we first got it. And to be honest, driving it around, it feels quite snappy compared to what it used to. The plugs have made a huge difference. All right, better move some cars around and get her in the shed. So I think this will be the third oil change this car has had. First thing I'm going to do is just crack the oil filter housing. That will release the vacuum on the oil, and that should let all the oil drain down into the sump before I crack the sump. I did have this car out just before, and the engine is just about warm enough to work on. Any hotter and I wouldn't want to be touching it, but we're all right. So just wait for that seal to come out. Actually, the seal's out. Okay, now that should... I'll leave that... Oh, it's always a mess. Right, I'll leave that to drain out. And... Is it going to make a mess? We're good. All right, let that drain out, and we'll get underneath and undo the sump plug. Okay, so I've got a 17mm on the sump plug. And it's very crucial to get it level and not round it off, which I feel like I might do. I might have to reposition myself a little bit here. Also helps to do it the right way, you friggin' idiot. Let's see how much oil we mess on our hands. Hopefully it's not too hot. Oh, it's gonna burn. Oh, I really don't want to have my hands on it. Ah, we dropped it anyway. Oh well. We'll fish that out in a minute with a magnet. We'll let it drain out. Alright, so that's been going for a while, and yep, we are now relieved of all the oil in there. However, it still always makes a mess, so we're going to catch it straight with the rag, and we'll get this thing swapped over. Okay, so we can get that off. Oh, they're always so hard to pull off. There it is. I have a Westfill, or Cooper they call them now, oil filter kit that's going in it. We have actually got these available on the 0 to 60 store. Now I couldn't get the Mann's in bulk, which is what that filter is. That's a genuine Mann filter. The only difference between the Westfill is it does have plastic down the bottom, but the sealing surface is still like a paper seal, so I'm pretty happy to use them. In fact, don't mind the Westfill filters at all. I still prefer them over the Rycos. So we got that clipped in, and of course it will come with a new O-ring and also sump plug gaskets. However, that O-ring has only been on for a few months. I know it's sealed, so I'm not going to change the O-ring. That's ready to go back in the car. So I try to make sure that the O-ring at the top of this stalk piece is all still good. They never come with a new O-ring for this section, but that one's still nice, supple and protruding. Everything looks good. New oil filter ready to go in. We've still got oil on this O-ring here. Now this O-ring, we've actually done 2 oil changes on this car already, so this will be the 3rd one. And that O-ring's still absolutely fine, so I'm going to leave it on. Also, these O-rings are very similar to N54 intake manifold O-rings, so I keep them as spares if we don't need to replace them. Not intake manifold, throttle body O-rings. Now I used to try and fill the oil filter housing up with oil, but unless you get the oil filter in very, very quickly, it drains out anyway, so I just don't bother anymore. And I nearly always made a mess when I did it that way. But it'll fill up pretty quickly, and make sure you torque it to 25 Newton meters. Click. Right, oil filter in. Let's see how the drain's going underneath. So that is still draining out there. I'll leave it keep going for a bit while I do the spark plug, I think. And actually you can see the oil's not that dirty. You can still sort of see through it. Hopefully the GoPro's picking that up, but we'll let it keep draining and we'll get onto the spark plug. Okay, so there we have that second-hand plug that come out of Dave's parts car. That's now out. And we have the last Bosch plug to go in. And it's one of those 4-prong platinum thingy-mabobbies. And always make sure, yeah, we got the same clearance down to the piston. All right, so this one can go in. Okay, so this could be interesting. We have a new air filter for this car. We've never taken this air filter cover off, which is a bit slack, but I mean, priorities, right? When you've got broken N54s to play with. Yeah, so curious to see how dirty this air filter is. How bad will it be, everyone? Okay, get that off. Oh my. Look, there's a bit of stuff in there, but it's not too bad. Seen a lot worse. All right, let's get the new one. New one, good to go. This is a Sunwa branded filter. It's got a little bit of extra support compared to the one that come out of it. But new oil filter tucked in. Airline back in. So new oil filter, sorry, air filter as well. All that's left is to put the new oil in. It's still actually dripping a little bit. And I do need to fish out sump plug. Yeah, so because I dropped the sump plug, I need to try and fish it out. Don't really want to put my hand in there yet. This is just a magnet, in case you're wondering. Ta-da! Cool, one sump plug. All right, I'll get that cleaned off, put a new copper washer on it, and get it back in so we can fill it back up with oil. Top tip, always refill your car with oil after doing a oil service before you start it up. But yeah, the oil actually looks pretty clean. I'm happy with that. Motor's not running too dirty. That's done about, I think about 5,000 Ks, that oil. And just the new copper washer. I can't really get a good camera angle underneath putting it back in, but I'm gonna do it. Cool. Sun plugs in, so we're now ready to put the new oil in. Thrilling stuff. Alright, so it's time for the oil to go in. These things take 7 litres-ish. Oh, who bought the massive funnel? Now, this is what we've used in it so far. It's a Penrite 1040 full synthetic. It's what, I think it's like Penrite's alternative oil. We bought a load of these because they were on sale not long after we got the car. But I'm thinking of running this on a 1050 Penrite in the future. Just getting a bit older, a little bit rattly sometimes on startup. So we'll go to a thicker oil next time. Let me know what you think. I love people's oils opinions and how they all differ. Now, being an M series engine, BMW were nice enough to fit these with a dipstick, so we can actually check how close the oil level is before we even start it. That did not want to come out of there. I'd say she's a bit low. She's going to need a little bit more, which is interesting because that is 7 litres in there. Oh no, there we are. About a third of the way up the dipstick. So we will add, I'll add another litre because it's going to fill up the reservoir as well. All right, added another litre. GoPro's probably not going to pick it up, but she's just over full at this point. So I reckon that will do for now. Drive it for a day or two and we'll recheck it. But it's time to start it up. See if we've got any misfires with that last plug that's gone in. And yeah, see if we get any rattles on startup. And the reason I say about the rattles is this is an older M62 TU and they are prone to Vanos problems, and just fresh oil scares me. Quiet as. Good. What we might do is just go and take it for a drive straight away. Spilled some oil. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, it's smudged. It's everywhere. Oh, that'll do. Right. Let's just take it a quick drive, and I also want to get the odometer on camera so I know exactly when we did the oil change. It's at 189.829.
We're expecting a large convoy of cars to be coming in.
Shut up, Adam. Yeah, rev's all right. All right, let's take a quick drive. Okay, so I actually had to idle around for a little bit then to get some heat in, but we're up to 75 degrees on the oil temp. Let's just make sure it pulls up a hill under load. I'm in sports mode. Let's see what it does. She runs perfectly. Excellent. All right, I'm gonna head back. So the car's feeling pretty good. I'm gonna see if we get enough response from this engine now to give it a little bit of a slide. I mean, we're in all-wheel drive. Yep, we are all-wheel drive sliding the X5. The motor feels pretty good. Oh shit. Oh my god, I've just dug massive trenches in the garden. Wow, alright. This M62 TU has come to life. Oh. Also, I haven't all-wheel drive slid a car in a very long time. That was quite fun. Alright. I am going to end the video off here because I have just seen the radiator has been delivered for the 325 and I'd really like to get that car finished today as well. But I will edit this video today. One last thing I'm going to do with this, just to make sure it's all good, is just check the oil on a flat level ground because we were on a bit of an angle before, which probably would have given us a slightly lower reading. Anyway, I will check that. End it off. Thank you very much for watching. X5 serviced and running really well, as the thermofan is going nuts. All right, thank you very much. We'll catch you on the next one.